money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Hey, 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 what's going on, beautiful people? Happy Wednesday to you all. I hope that you've had an amazing day thus far. And we are back, y'all. This is episode 2 of the How and Why Network Marketing. I'm super excited about our show tonight. How are you, Dr. Damu?
Oh, blessed and highly favored.
Amen. Awesome. Awesome. So listen, y'all, if you're watching us live right now, go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let us know where in the virtual building you are watching us from tonight. Be sure to also tag your friends, tag those that you know are in network marketing, because I'm sure that this is going to be very informative for them. And also tag the people that you may be considering speaking to about this industry, right? You want to make sure that they're on here too, to get the real, right, from those that are going to be sharing tonight, right? And so let's get started. I want to see some comments. I need to see who is with us tonight. Go ahead and comment. Rep your city, rep your country. Let us know who is here. And I'm going to get started with my intro, as I always do. My name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled single mom to a 2-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor. And I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So once again, welcome everyone. I see that Pastor Sean is in the building. Hey, 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 Pastor Sean, how are you? Welcome. Harlem is representing tonight. Let's see who else is out there. Rep your city, y'all. I want to see who's here. So this is episode 2, and I have my amazing co-host and mentor, Dr. Dom Wu, with me tonight, who has been a veteran in this industry for well over 20 years, has built amazing distribution networks in over 4 continents, and he has done some phenomenal things. Even the company that he recently partnered with, let us see that ring you got. Do you have it on you? I know you were flaunting earlier today trying to find it, huh? So Dr. Damu, what I'm going to incorporate today in our show and going forward is that I'm going to have a quote by a veteran in this industry, or someone who has had great success in this industry. And so tonight I'm going to be quoting from someone that you and I both have gotten great information and training from, Mr. Holton Buggs. And the quote from tonight is, "You don't get in life what you wait, let me get it right." In life, you don't get what you want, you get what you picture, right? And so I'm going to start off with that quote, and tell me your thoughts on that quote before we get into our show tonight. Can you hear me?
Well,
oh, there you go.
A lot of respect. Yeah, I like to think before I talk sometimes.
Okay.
I have a lot of respect for Mr. Buggs, as I know you do as well. He's been a friend and a mentor to me, and I've heard him say that many, many times. And so for me, spiritual reference. Yeah, it's a spiritual reference when you talk about how things manifest, how thoughts become things. Um, you get what you picture is dealing with visualization, and visualization sparks the law of attraction. And so it's a reference to writing down your goals. It's a reference to having a vision board. Reference to writing down and
Talk about how things manifest.
Sorry, y'all.
you actually want, and seeing it everywhere. And in retrospect, you're running a commercial over and over and over and over again. And so when you visualize something, you then to start to move toward actually doing what you have to do to make it actually materialize. So I think it's an amazing, quote to how, some of the unseen forces work with you as a human being to make things materialize. Very, very, very powerful to look into that that concept. But that's why people have vision boards. That's why people think of something and then they write it down, and you see it, you look at it, you see it over and over and over and over again, and like a hypnotic rhythm is created where you begin to move forward toward that thing. Yeah, so it's an amazing quote by one of the greatest leaders in the history of this industry.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that it taps into, or your reference is the spiritual work of things. You know, a lot of times we can do the real physical work and we get so caught up in that, but don't realize that there's spiritual side of things, the visualization, right? Being able to see something before it happens and tapping into the law of attraction. So that's pretty powerful. I see we have some new guests on. Hello, Rosa. Hey, Amanda. Brooklyn's in the house. Leah's in the building. Hey, Leah. Hey, Miss Nevada. Welcome, welcome. So let's get into what we actually want to speak on tonight. And what I want to discuss tonight is what to actually look for before joining a network marketing company, right? Because there are literally like thousands of companies out there, many of which are being created every day. And so with that, some people may just join off the strength of, okay, I need some extra money, I just need to do something, and they'll go hopping blindly into this industry. So let's talk about some of the things that someone should consider before joining a network marketing company. And I know last week, while we were about to end, you were getting ready to get into that. So let's start from that point tonight.
Well, I think that's a very important consideration. There's marketing is a great industry, and there's thousands of great companies out there serving people all over the world. And I believe the more that the industry has less competition and more cooperation, the industry will grow and more people will be served, and their goals and dreams will be fulfilled. So with that being said, there's many companies that offer these elements. You know, I think there's probably two or three pillars that have to be in place for you to, in my humble opinion, for you to join a network marketing company. And I think number one, it may sound cliche, but as John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership. And I think leadership is very important because I've been in companies that have failed because the leadership was incompetent in certain areas. And so leadership is everything. Leadership is everything. You have to vet the leadership, the owners, the VP of sales, the director of operations. You have to really look at these individuals, their integrity, their track record. And then what kind of trickles right off of that? It's a domino effect. You have to really understand that the company have the proper infrastructure. And for me, I'm kind of referencing more new companies because when you become a seasoned network marketer, you want to get into a company on the ground floor. You want to get into a company in its first, in its infancy, maybe when it's in pre-launch, or maybe in its first year of launching, because timing and positioning is everything. So I'm not talking about old companies. Old companies have usually leadership infrastructure, but we're not chasing old money. You want to get in early. And so after leadership, it's infrastructure. I mean, I've seen the pain of a company collapsing because they couldn't accommodate the masses. They couldn't ship consistently on time. They couldn't meet payroll consistently on time. Their customer service department was less than par. Okay. And so infrastructure is huge. Replicated websites, the web terminals, the merchant accounts. You have to kind of this is more for the savvy network marketer, but infrastructure is infrastructure. Okay. So leadership and infrastructure, and I'm the type, to each his own. I like products. I prefer products over services. I think they're both awesome, but I like products because my standard is I want products that create instant gratification. And I mean, and this is just a tip. Okay, this can go either way. But for me, I want in the trenches and have products that create instant gratification and emotional testimonies. Whenever I've had tremendous success in this industry, my organization was always surrounded by emotional testimonies. And so that's important. And products that created instant gratification. And if I can say one final thing, I would say the fourth pillar, which is pretty much a no-brainer. You want to be in an industry that's recession-proof, in an industry that can accommodate the masses, not just one gender, not just one age group, not just one culture. You got to find something that can accommodate the masses and that is absolutely recession-proof. Um, and that's just so funny because I have this here. And that's why, the industry that we partake in, it's dealing with, wellness, you see?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, the wellness revolution. There's a lot of industries, ladies and gentlemen, but health and wellness is one of those. $1 trillion industry, global, recession-proof. So that's a little tip. So those would be the four things: leadership, infrastructure, products that have a certain impact on a certain demographic, and you want a recession-proof.
Yeah, those are all great. And I was thinking back to a time where I was a part of a company and the momentum was amazing. Like they had just started the company and there were so many people coming over and the product was great, and we got in at pre-launch, right? As you mentioned, timing is pretty much everything. And so here we are, and we partnered with this company and we're getting excited. We went off of the fact that this person had done some great things in the industry. They had ideas for some amazing products, but they did not have the infrastructure for a successful company. And in fact, what happened was they weren't prepared for the growth that they had experienced. They had all of these people coming and joining their company. And what happened was, here we were waiting literally months for a product that we purchased when we got started. It was a disaster. People really had issues with their family and friends because they're like, what's going on? I paid for this product. I didn't receive it. Where is it? And we had no real answers for them. So when it comes to, backing and infrastructure, that's a real thing because it can leave a bad taste in someone's mouth. And one of the biggest things, that you want to consider when talking about marketing company, especially a new one, is what kind of financial backing do they have, right? What is the capital looking like? Because the person that started the company that I'm referring to, they use their own money for that company. And yes, they put in millions of dollars, but you need more than just a couple of $1 million to have a successful company, especially when you are launching and having so much growth. So definitely keeping in mind that, yes, it's great to be the forefront of a movement. You want to be a part of that. But looking at some key things when it comes to leadership, capital, making sure that you have a duplicatable system. Now, you mentioned leadership, and a lot of times leadership can be confused with someone having success, right? And that is not always the case. Just because someone happens to be successful at something does not mean they have great leadership capabilities, right? Some people are just great hustlers. Like I've had that, experience as well. Partnered with someone who was my upline, and I'm like, okay, great. This person has done some amazing things. Surely I'll have great leadership and I could duplicate the same thing. And the truth is, hustle cannot always be duplicated, right? So what do you believe would qualify as a prerequisite for someone being a good leader?
Integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Integrity. But I wouldn't discount success.
Mm-hmm.
But success leaves clues.
Mm-hmm.
And if a person, is not coming off of a track record of success, to me, that would be a red flag. And so success means that they have either, dominated another company, where they maximize comp plans. They maybe have built teams globally in the thousands or the hundreds of thousands. There's certain parameters of success in network marketing that comes from team building and financial earning. And that's just one caveat of leadership. Very important. But I would say then you get into morals and the moral fiber and the character of a human being, and so you're talking about real leadership qualities like integrity. Is a person, is she of her word? You know, is uh, is this leader someone who is fair? Because leaders have to police politics, but often politics is the one essential element that corrupts organizations and destroys companies. And
Hmm.
so we could go on and on and on, but I think that the premier characteristic is a track record of success, is a sense of high integrity and high character. Someone whose their word is their bond. That is very, very important. Being integrous with their word, and someone who knows how to police. Because remember, the ultimate key is the culture of the company. And the culture of the company is mandated by the environment.
Hmm.
And the environment is created by who's at the top. So all you care about when you are a leader of a company is you care about production, because production pays all the bills, it pays all the people. Production is what keeps the company going. But production comes from activity. And activity is a reflection of the culture. And the culture is stimulated by the environment. And who's responsible for the environment? Leadership.
Mhm.
So if you don't have the proper culture and environment, it's going to fail. And that's always a reflection.
That's good. I mean, you said a whole lot of things. Listen, this is an interactive show. I need to see some comments. I need to see some hearts. And once again, be sure to ask your questions here because we are going to answer them. So let's be interactive. Let's see some comments. Let's see some hearts. Make sure you share and ask your questions as well. Now, you mentioned so many key things, and I want to touch on culture because that is so imperative. I remember there was a company that I had a really short stint with. And one of the major reasons why I joined that company was because their culture was phenomenal. It just exuded excellence, right? It exuded people winning and royalty. And it was the culture was so rich. There wasn't, if I mean, there's politics everywhere. You mentioned politics, but the politics was there, you wouldn't know it, right? And so culture is everything. And as you said, that breeds from leadership. So one of the things you have to ask yourself when you're considering joining a company, looking at what the culture is, right? Looking at how people are trying to lure people in, right? What does that look like? Is it a bait and switch type of thing? Is it let's show flashy cars and, a lifestyle that maybe you cannot relate to? Or is it, integral what they're actually saying? What does that look like for you? What does a company reflect for you? Like when you go and you tell your friend or family about this company, are they going to look at you like, really? Like, why are you doing this? Or are they going to say, oh, that makes sense, right? Culture is everything. And that comes again from leadership. So I really, really like that. Now, we're talking about leadership. We're talking about what to look for in a company prior to joining. And when we talk about leadership, you have to even consider now sponsorship, your enroller, right? What are some key things to look for in an enroller? It could kind of go and tie with leadership, but what are some things to look for in an enroller? And also, there are people that join because they may know someone, but may not be the right business fit for them. So can you touch on what are some good things to consider in an enroller when joining a company?
Hmm. Well, that's a loaded question,
I know.
because for someone who's been in the industry for, on and off for a couple of decades and have had, a certain amount of experience, you get to a point where this is a career for some of us, and you're a professional network marketer. And so my criteria for a sponsor or an enroller is going to be completely different than what someone else may experience who's just having their first run at it or their second or third run at it. So I don't know how far you kind of want me to go with that, because it's completely there's a big gap between my qualifications
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure the audience's qualifications. Absolutely. So for your audience, and I just want to say that in my integrity, because at the end of the day, I want to just be true and be real.
Mm-hmm.
The qualifications would be similar to what I spoke about when it came to ownership and leadership. You want people who have obviously integrity, moral fiber, morality, good character, people who are honest. At the end of the day, if at the end of the day, your sponsor, see, it's two phases. It's the phase that you're in as an amateur, and it's the phase you're in as a professional. At the end of the day, there's time. See, let me tell you something about network marketing. Network
Tell me.
marketing is seasonal. It's a seasonal experience based on where you are in your life.
Mm.
There's times you join network marketing and the unseen, the powers that be, you're not in that company to make money. You're in that company to learn about yourself and leadership.
That's good.
Sometimes you're in companies and it's just so you can learn, wow, this is personal growth and development with a compensation plan. Sometimes you get in a company and it gets so intense and you learn about all of your character defects.
Mm.
Sometimes you get in a company just so your dreams can be deferred and you can get your heart broken so you can know who not to trust and what to rely on and what not to. There's so many phases that you could experience over a 5 or 10-year experience. It's very rare that your first deal is the one that takes you to the promised land. So you experience so many different things, and your criterias for sponsorship and enrollment, they change. But at the end of the day, you get to a very important point where it doesn't matter who your sponsor and enroller is in certain respects, because you understand it's the person in the mirror that's going to be responsible for your success. It's not going to be a sponsor. It's not going to be an enroller. It's going to be, your personal growth and development, your leadership, your ability to move product, your ability to move distribution. I think sometimes when you cut the umbilical cord, you know, and really rely on yourself for just a certain season, you grow. Like you really, really grow. You boss up. And that's an amazing experience. I've had experiences where I I idolized sponsors and enrollers, and it would come back and hurt me because they would just break my heart. And then it would take time. It's like if you ever watched The Last Dragon as a child, and uh,
Leroy.
Shogun
Show
was
enough.
dunking. Shonuff was dunking Leroy's head in the water, and Leroy was having all those flashbacks of network marketing moments, of all these moments, and Shonuff pulled his head out, and then finally said, "I'm the master." Like that is what you go through in network marketing. If you understand the analogy, um, unless your sponsor, here's the end of it. Unless your sponsor is the owner of the company or the number one producer in the company, it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
It doesn't really matter. You have to be the master. Now, if you get to a point in your career where you get enrolled by founders of companies and top producers, then that caveat creates a tremendous amount of leverage and power. But other than that, it's about you, and it doesn't really matter.
That's good. Like there were so many things in that, like trying to chop them all down. So yes, it really depends on where you are. There clearly is a difference between someone who is an amateur, as you said, that is just getting into the industry for the first time, and someone who is a note marketing professional. And maybe next week we'll talk about that, the difference between an amateur and a network marketing professional.
Be
Now,
shocked. The audience would be shocked to hear there's only three things that create the difference between being an amateur and a professional. It's only maybe three things, four at the most.
okay, well, we're going to talk about that next week. What do y'all think? Go ahead and chime in. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. If you want to know the tea on the difference, go ahead and comment below. But, there is a grand difference. I know for myself, when I got started in this industry, it was just like, ignorance on fire. My friend told me about a product and I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm about to do this. And that was pretty much it. It wasn't really much of anything after that. Now, me as someone who has been in the game for, on and off over 10 years, there are some things that I am going to look at when someone tries to bring me into this industry. I have had a lot of people bring me opportunities and try to recruit me for obvious reasons. But there are some people that there's just no way in this world that I was ever going to partner with them, right? So you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm going to need in this journey of getting to my goals? The person that I am partnering up with right now, or thinking of partnering up with, can they literally help me get there? Or am I just signing up with someone just to sign up with someone? You have to be real with yourself, right? And sometimes that could be a really hard thing to cross, because it may be somebody that you really admire. It may be someone that, is family or friends. And you're like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, like Dr. Damu said, it really is up to you. Because I've had companies where I joined and my sponsor just vanished. It's like, I don't know what happened to them, right? And then there are also times where I've joined companies and I surpassed my upline, right? So you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm going to need from the person that I'm partnering up with? And do they have success? And it doesn't have to be success in that particular company. It could be success in any other area in their lives. Is there a pattern? Are there principles that they live by that you are confident in, knowing that, okay, if I partner with them, the principles that I've witnessed them have, either in being a mother, maybe being a wife, or being someone that does well in their corporate job, whatever it is there something that can help me, that I can gain from in this partnership with moving forward, so that way I'm able to actually gain results in this? And once again, at the end of the day and the beginning of the day, right, you are the one that determines if you're going to succeed or not, regardless of anyone being there for you or not, right? We like to say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And most times that is the case. But in the event that, God forbid, you join a company and for whatever reason, you're there by yourself, you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do to ensure that I win? Now, we're getting close to the end of our talk for today. But before we do that, I see that we have some comments coming in. And Tommy says, I need to hear that so I can get some good habit tips. Awesome. And I know Amanda said something earlier on about everyone is not a boss, but it has to be in them. Now, that's a good topic to discuss one day, too. I don't know if you want to touch on that or not tonight, Mr. Browning, or not, but that's good because I actually have some thoughts on that as well. That could go into leadership. Our leader is born or are they made, right? So I guess maybe we could talk about that another day. I do want to have our spotlight for the day. As I told you all before, every show we will spotlight a network marketer who has had some success in the industry. It does not have to be $1 million, right? It could be someone who just ranked up. And you have an opportunity to either nominate yourself, or if there's someone else that you know on your team, inbox me and we will highlight them. So tonight I'm going to highlight someone and hopefully I can get that picture up here without any issues, y'all. Y'all cross your fingers because I want to make sure we all see. Let's see. I'm going to have to mute out. Let's see. Well, we'll do it like this. Our spotlight of the day is Ms. Rosa Bostic. Miss Rosa Bostic is a mother of 3, a wife, and she has been able to do some amazing things as supervising the current company that she is a part of. She hails from Brooklyn, New York, and so we want to just celebrate you and congratulate you on your success and your hard work and determination, knowing that this is only the beginning and that there's so much more in store. Oh, Father. Oh, no, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to close out for today. If anyone has any questions that you'd like us to answer before we do, go ahead and comment. I know Tommy said she wanted to hear some things If you have any questions, go ahead and comment, and we will answer them quickly before the end of our show. But I'm super excited for all the others that will come. Again, if you are in any company, you can just go ahead and inbox me, and we will highlight you on our shows on Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be able to celebrate you, right? Because that's important. So, Dr. Damu, before we end our show tonight, do you have any final remarks for us?
No, not really. Just be blessed and be grateful. Be blessed and be grateful, and follow your heart.
Amen. Be blessed, be grateful, and follow your heart. Well, y'all, you heard it from the doc himself. I'm super ecstatic. And listen, this industry is phenomenal. It changes lives, and I am a witness to that. And, you know, a lot of times we allow our past to dictate if we can or cannot do something. And so I want to urge you, especially if you're someone who has been in this industry before, maybe got burned out or tired, I really want you to consider going back into it and go back to your initial goals and dreams, okay? And so I thank you all for joining. Tommy says she wants to know the difference between the amateur and professional. So you will stay tuned for next week's show as we discuss that. And so once again, thank you for joining us tonight, ladies and gents. It's been real. I thank you for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Good night, everyone.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases.